Hi there, I'm back again, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of my other coffee grinders. This is made by Bodum. It's the Bodum Bistro Burr grinder. They also have a blade grinder by the same name, the Bodum Bistro. However, this one has stainless steel conical shaped burrs. So I'm going to go over that today. And I've had it for about 2.5 years. I absolutely love this grinder. However, now that I have a couple others, specifically the Cuisinart models, I'm starting to see some of the caveats that this grinder has. Although it is very consistent, it's a really, really nice grinder. It overall though, and when I say that, I mean all the grind settings, it does grind on the fine side. And how I figured that out is when I started making cold brew coffee about 1.5 years ago, which I absolutely love. I highly recommend it. You need a really, really coarse ground coffee for that. And the coarsest setting on here for French press is like a percolator or a drip grind. It's really not coarse enough, and there was a lot of that dusty coffee silt at the bottom of the cup. I literally had to strain that through paper filters and a sieve to get all the silt out to make it drinkable. So it's great for small espresso machines that use a pressurized portafilter, like my Starbucks barista back here. Which is basically a Seiko Via Venezia. It's just an older model with the barista logo on it. For that, it's fine. In fact, the ultra fine setting on here is actually too fine, but I'll show you that in a second. But let's go over the features real quick here. It has 12 grind settings, and they're not numbered like they are on most other grinders. There's just a series of dots that start out small and get larger as you come around to the coarser grind. The number 1 setting, which is ultra fine, has a portafilter icon. You come around to the center, there's an icon for like a drip or pour over. And then as you get out to the coarsest setting, you have a logo, or excuse me, a little picture of a French press on there. So as far as figuring it out, there is some guesswork involved here. Also, it relies on a timer switch. There's an on-off button and a timer switch. So there's no setting of how many cups you want to grind for. Hit the button, walk away, and it stops when it's done. This stops when the timer runs out, depending on where you have it set. It's setting anywhere from 5 seconds to 20 seconds. You can set it for in between. It's not, just set on those 4. But again, you have to sort of play with it to figure out how long it takes to grind, the amount of coffee you need for the type of brewing method you're going to use, which of course all depends on the size of grind as well. So unless you're like me, where 2 tablespoons is going to make a double shot of espresso in your machine, as it does in mine, I only put in that much coffee, the 2 tablespoons. I hit it for like 12 or 15 seconds, and I just let it run through. It grinds long beyond my beans have finished before it gets to that point, but at least I know everything has gone through and there's no beans left to be ground in there. So there is a little guesswork involved, but the consistency of it makes up for that. It's a really, really nice grinder. I like it a lot. Other than the not being able to grind super coarse, in every other aspect, it does a wonderful job. The other thing I want to go over, you may notice there's no cup here to collect the grounds. What happened is this one actually comes with a glass collection cup, which is nice. Very few at this price point, and what I'm talking about is this runs about $100. Anything $100 or lower, it's rare to find something glass that collects the grounds. Glass is a nice alternative because it doesn't create as much static as the plastic. The grinder itself is what creates the static, but those plastic cups on the bottom just kind of exacerbate the problem and make it a little worse. The glass doesn't eliminate it altogether, but it really does improve it, probably about 60-70% or so. Although last winter, January of 2015, I pulled mine out. It was very cold, so the heat was going all, like round the clock. So it was very dry and staticky in here, and I just pulled it out, gave it a light couple taps to settle the grounds, and I hit it just right, and the whole bottom of the cup just cracked and came off. I picked up the cup, and all my coffee grounds on the bottom of the cup were on the counter. So that was the end of that. And at that time, it was my only grinder. I didn't own the other 2 Cuisinarts yet, so I was kind of in a quandary there. I tried putting little cups under here and little jars that I had upcycled from condiments or something else that I had used. Nothing really worked really well. So one day while I was out shopping, I found this at Target. Although they don't sell them anymore, but Bed Bath & Beyond has them for like $5 or $6. It's a stainless steel dredge. It comes with a lid that's perforated, and it just screws on the top. It's what a dredge does is you just use it to shake powdery things like flour, powdered sugar, that sort of thing. And I just took the top off. It fits in here height-wise perfectly. And I saved the lid because you cannot order a new one of these, even with a new glass cup. By the way, I tried to replace mine, but they were out of stock. And that's when it kind of got me thinking I wanted something more durable. But I have to say, this has worked out so well, I never went back to even look to see if the glass cups came back in stock. This works so well. And unbeknownst to me at the time, stainless steel is great for eliminating static electricity. It's absolutely wonderful. So I just put the lid on. It's a little loose, this way. But height-wise, it fits in there good and snug. It's not going anywhere. There's no dancing around. It doesn't come vibrating out when the grinder is running. It's a wonderful solution to the problem here. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you what the grind sizes look like. I'm going to start with the espresso, or what they call espresso. This could actually work for Turkish almost. It is so fine. It is literally like talcum powder. It is so fine. So here is the on-off switch on the side. When you turn it on, the light will shine. It's a little orange light. And I'm just going to put this on a few seconds here, just to kind of run that through. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. And then you'll get to see the no static thing too. So as you can see, everything's at the bottom. I hope you can see that. Everything's at the bottom of the cup. There's no static climbing up the walls or anything. And as far as what the grind looks like, this is what it looks like. It is really pretty fine. I hope I can focus on that for you. But it's very, very fine. Not quite like powdered sugar, but pretty darn close. It is really, really fine. In fact, when I switched coffees from one brand to another, I had been using the setting number 1 on the old one. When I switched to a new coffee that the beans were a little drier, I clogged my machine and it almost blew up, which was not fun. I caught it when it wasn't coming through. I thought something's not right. Something sounded like it was struggling, and I turned everything off, and it made a loud pop noise when I pulled the portafilter off. So then I knew, I think I need to adjust that. So I'm going to put just a few more beans in here, just because I want to show you the coarsest setting here. We'll take that up, all the way up to the coarsest setting. Get a quick look at that. Oops. There we go. Okay, let's see what this looks like here. And there, see again, no static. And usually with the coarser settings, you're going to get the static because there's more surface area on the coffee beans and the grounds. And here's what this looks like. This, to me, looks very much like drip coffee. This is, in my book, I hope you can see that. This is not terribly coarse, especially since I've been using the Cuisinart to do coarse coffee for my French press. You could probably get away with this in a percolator, but that's probably as far as I'd go with the coarseness of this. I mean, it's really consistent. It's beautifully ground, but it is not by any means coarse enough for a French press. Half of that's going to go right through the little sieve that's on the bottom of the press itself, the mesh. So that's the one thing I don't like about it, is the higher settings are not coarse enough for me. But let me show you what the burrs look like. They're very, very similar. Let's see, I got to get my beans out of here. I knew I should have done this first. Oh well. Okay. Very, very similar size and everything else to the Cuisinart. Now there's, next to that highest setting here, you'll see a little dot. You line up your little red arrow there, and that's when you've unlocked the bean hopper. You can take that off. I still had beans in there. sorry. Okay, and here's what the burr, oh, for heaven's sakes. Here's, oh, that's great. Here's what, I never take this apart when there's beans in there. I thought I got them all, but apparently not. So here's what it looks like. Like I said, it's very similar. There's no handle. There's just this plastic collar that you use to pull it up and bring it out. Here's what the underside looks like. There's some of the real fine grooves. And here are the grooves on the top. This is the burr that's fixed or stays stationary when it's grinding. And this is the one that spins. So you can see that I've got coffee in there, but same configuration. Yes, there is a lot of plastic. It's at that $100 price point. But if you keep all this clean regularly, like I will run my rice through it, my dry minute rice through there, brush everything out, empty it out, you know, put it upside down over the sink and wrap on it a few times, just like all my other ones. Make sure you brush the chute out and everything else. It will last a very long time. You'll hopefully get years of use out of it if you just take care of it. They just need a little extra TLC, but they work wonderfully. And again, for French press, I would probably get a different model. But for everything else, this works great. I really like this grinder. Every time I think I might give it to someone or I might sell it, I suddenly get wax nostalgic and want to use it again. So it's still my favorite. I think too because it was my first burr grinder, so I really, really like it. And compared to the Cuisinart, it's not nearly as loud. It sounded a little shrill here on the video, but next to the Cuisinart, this is the quiet one of the bunch. So I hope this is at all helpful to some of you. And thanks again for watching and have a great day.